Gemini, how are you? Welcome to Tarot with Marge. This is a little check-in for mid-July. We are going to use the Light Seers Tarot for us today. And energetically, there is a lot coming through for you right off the bat, Gemini. Almost immediately, I feel like my gut is really empty. It feels really clear. So I don't know if you've been dealing with any kind of digestive tract issues, inflammation, discomfort, but I feel as though there's something about the sacral chakra and your stomach as a whole that seems to be really rebalancing in a beautiful way. They're saying that you're turning a corner in terms of your digestion, in terms of your gut health, but to do your part, your diligence, by not inflaming it or going back to old habits. So if you're starting to feel a little bit better, maybe avoid foods that you know are inflammatory or over or under eating, or just doing anything that is related to a bad habit, anything that sparks a flare. Allow it to cool down. There's also a lot of energy, and it kind of feels tickly and sparkly, which is such an interesting word, around my feet. You are ruled by Mercury, and through myth, Mercury, i.e. Hermes, was a god of flight, and he had these winged sandals. So there's something about your steps taking flight in a way, and there's something about learning more about not just Hermes or Mercury as a planet and as a god, but as a philosophy, as the principles of Hermeticism, and specifically looking into the 7 principles of Hermeticism. I looked them up for you. They're mentalism, correspondence, vibration, polarity, rhythm, cause and effect, and gender. So there might be something in those principles for you to explore, for you to learn something from. They're coming up. Something else that I'm noticing in the body energy, Gemini, is that it feels as though, and it's such an interesting, the geometry of it is interesting, but I feel a lot of clearing through, I would say it was the esophagus into the heart and into the throat. So you seem to simultaneously be having a clearing and an opening of the sacral chakra, your heart, maybe specifically the upper or the higher heart, and the throat. I'm laughing about the geometry of it because it literally feels it looks like an uppercase T, but it reminds me of Thor's hammer, just the way it is constructed, the way the energy moves upward very clearly, but in a very structured way, and then how it opens almost like a rectangle throughout the heart space. It feels as though there is a lightening up of your energy, of your outlook, of your emotions, and a lot of it has to do with you returning guilt, offloading blame, offloading shame that doesn't actually belong to you. You seem to be coming into some kind of awareness of, oh, there were a lot of situations where maybe I was a legitimate victim, or I was legitimately misled or uninformed by something. I should not be carrying the weight or the shame or the guilt of other people's bad behavior, right? I shouldn't be doing that mental, that emotional, that spiritual labor of making it all right. That's their work to do. My work is to heal, to stay aligned, to reaffirm my inherent value, and to keep it moving on my little winged sandals. And so that seems to be really powerful for you. In your shufflemancy, which is a form of music divination, and I'll put the songs in the description box for you below in case you want to put them on a playlist, listen to them for yourself, meditate. You had Criminal by Fiona Apple. I've been a bad girl. I've been careless with a delicate man. That song. But it feels as though, almost as if I'm overhearing that sentiment from someone else in regards to you. You, Gemini, you're easy to scapegoat because you're mutable. And I find that signs like Pisces, signs like Sagittarius, right? Mutable placements in general tend to kind of get a bad rap because they're so flexible that they're hard to pin down. And other people's inability to pin you down, to put you in a box, it threatens their sense of power, control, authority, which automatically makes you come off kind of squirrely or slippery or suspicious, when really you're just adaptable, right? And so I feel like, and you might be like picking up on, feeling, tapping into, especially if you're clairaudient, really tapping into other people's heaviness, their guilt, as you begin to return it back to them. It's almost like releasing and surrendering, maybe return to sendering all of this excess energy that doesn't actually belong to you, that was very heavy and weighted. It seems as if it was bogging down your intuitive channel, so you felt very foggy. But now that it's being returned to them, your psychic channels are starting to clear up. Things are coming in more clearly, more accurately, more potently, I want to say. But that also means that you might be like feeling, though you recognize it is an external energy, you're still feeling the heaviness like of that shame, of that guilt, and specifically like tuning into maybe people's like inner dialogues with themselves. Like, I was careless, Gemini actually was delicate, I shouldn't have done that, like maybe it was me. It's like those quiet conversations people have inside that like they would never have the humility to express outside of like that inner world. I feel that coming through. And what's also interesting is the second song that came after Fiona Apple's, and maybe the name Fiona is significant for you, or that show Shameless, Fiona Gallagher, the Gallaghers is significant to you. The song Dress You Up by Madonna, I'm gonna dress you up with my love, that was coming on as well. So I almost feel as though there's sort of an energy of someone who is trying to trade places with you, dress you up in their energy, in their shame. It kind of feels like a, not quite a destiny stop. Ooh, destiny stop. Oh, okay. A destiny swap, but definitely one of those, I'm going to throw the rock and hide my hand. I'm going to make it seem like Gemini is doing X, Y, and Z to take attention off the fact that I'm actually doing X, Y, and Z, right? And it seems to not quite be working. It seems to not quite be working in the long run, because your consistency, I want to say, and I'm also hearing the caliber of your character, your consistency and the caliber of your character. It outlasts and it outshines rumors. And they're playing me, oh my God, Lindsay Lohan. I'm tired of these rumors starting. I'm sick of I'm so aging and dating myself right here as a millennial, but Lindsay Lohan, at one point in time, she was in her little pop star moment, and she had this song called Rumors, and I think in the music video, she's like on a rooftop, like, I'm tired of these rumors starting. So maybe there's like something about Lindsay Lohan as like a sign or like a symbol for you right now, or like millennial pop or something, Gemini. It's really funny. What do we have here? 4 of Cups. Oh, this is so interesting to me. I feel as though you often get rumors, you get criticism, you get judgments from people that have like way more than you. Because I see this person, it's like they've already had 3 full cups of porridge, and here is another one that's like being poured for them. It seems like it's someone who is like consistently in some kind of like melancholy, even though they operate from like quite a place of privilege. Like they're very well fed, and for some reason, feel my throat chakra going. And for some reason, the universe insists on like keeping them well fed. It's someone that like naturally has like very abundant or active like ancestors, or like things manifest for them like very easily. But the kicker of it, the gag of it all, is like they're still unsatisfied because there's something outside of material abundance they can't seem to acquire for themselves, because it requires that like inner work. It requires the harvesting of the inner fruits. They don't know how to do that. So even if Gemini on the surface, you might not seem like, I don't know, you're exactly where you want to be, there's something about like these inherent fruits of the spirit that you hold that other people don't, and they may be jealous of you for that in whatever reason. The Knight of Pentacles, there also seems to be something about you happily like releasing materialism when it starts to get a hold on you, when people start fighting over the dolly, like when it starts to get put over your head, you almost seem, almost in like an intentional 5 of Pentacles way, are able to go, I don't need it anyway. And you just start offloading like material items. You just start offloading priorities that feel more superficial. And then like you leave yourself with 2. So you remove, what is this? That's 10, 11, 12, back down to 2 pentacles. So you release 10 pentacles. So you release yourself from the community, from the place, from the obligation. You go, okay, that's fine. I'll just see myself out. I'll go start again with just my 2 pentacles. So your ability to consistently like revive and restart and re-rev your engines, your ability to constantly be rebirthing, which again, it's very mercurial. Obviously, Mercury was a psychopomp. He was able to carry the living into the underworld, the dead kind of like back up as well. Like, so there's something really interesting about that for you that might be part of like your spiritual giftings that you're not really aware of. And that also might be like part of the reason why other people get annoyed, because your ability to like rebirth and restart, it comes so easy, it comes so natural. It's like flipping a light switch for you because it's part of your spiritual gifting. So if people do judge, if they do try and place blame on you, if they do try to dress you up in their own frustration, like with their creator, it's helpful for you to depersonalize and offload that energy by recognizing they're not really jealous. They're not really judging you as an individual. They're judging like your anointing. They're judging the magic. They're judging these inner fruits of your spirit that they don't feel like they have access to. But you and I both know they can have access to it if they're willing to put in the inner work. And again, that is not your or my responsibility. That is on them. But the recognition of that is what, I almost called you Scorpio, begins to, again, lighten your energy, lighten your spirit, start clearing up your intuitive channels in like a really beautiful way. So I'm going to leave this here for now, and then we're going to take your check-in over to the Patreon and dig a little bit deeper, because it feels like there's something really fun on the cusp for you to really dig your teeth into, is the impression that I'm getting. So I wonder if like there's something about like no meat. You haven't had like any meat in a while, and so you're going to get some like meat on your bones. You're going to get some meat on your plate soon, and I want to know exactly what that looks like. So if you are interested in your extended reading, your monthly reading for July, a personal reading, or even just to come hang out with me on social media, read my blog, any of that, all in the description box for you. I love you, Gemini. Take care of yourself, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.